St Andrew's Night celebrations. There's nothing more Scottish. Or is there? I thought with St Andrew's Night approaching, it'd be a good time for us to look at Scotland's patron saint and a night that's celebrated by Scots all over the world. And I think there might be some surprises. So if you're interested in the people, places and events in Scottish history, then click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen and ring the notification bell to be told when I upload new videos. In the meantime, let me tell you a story. If we're going to tell the story of St Andrew's Day, what better place to start than the place where St Andrew's Cross became our flag? The Saltire, the oldest national flag in the world. Unless you can tell me different. It was here in Athelstan in 832 AD that our flag was born. Born by our patron saint, Andrew. Let me give you a little context of the time. In 832, Lothian here was part of the kingdom of Northumbria. North across the Forth was Pictland, and to its west was Dalriada of the Scots. This was a period of change. 40 years before, things had been shaken with an attack on the monastery of Lindisfarne down here and Iona up there. The Vikings had come. Partly because of the threat of the Vikings, 10 years hence, the Scots and the Picts would come together under a single king, Kenneth MacAlpin, to form Alapa. This was the birth of Scotland. But before that, the Picts and the Scots were already cooperating here. The story goes that they'd come together under the Pictish king Ungus to mount a raid into Northumbria. And it was here, on their way back, that they stopped, relaxed and made camp, not realising that the Angles had raced to bring together as many warriors as they could. And now the Picts and the Scots were caught, outnumbered in a trap. Like all good men do, the raid was only to borrow stuff. Ungus knelt down to pray. St Andrew appeared to him and promised him victory. There were a few contractual obligations, fine print, I's to dot, T's to cross. The point is, they'd negotiated the bare bones of a deal. And the next day, Ungus and his men looked up to see across the blue sky a cloud formation in the shape of the cross of St Andrew's crucifixion. The men took heart and defeated the much larger Anglo-Saxon force. Soon after, Scotland was formed and St Andrew was the patron saint who offered us protection, and we've celebrated St Andrew's Day on the 30th of November ever since. Actually, depending on whether you measure by the Julian calendar or the Gregorian calendar, Andrew's Day is either the 30th of November or it could be the 13th of December. Like when he helped liberate Serbians from the Ottoman rule. Oh, did I not mention that Andrew was also the patron saint of Romania, Russia, Ukraine and Barbados? It's all right though, he supports us at the football. The fact of the matter is that there are several battle legends like this one. 200 years earlier, a Northumbrian king called Oswald had a similar experience. He'd come down from Dalriada, where he'd grown up as a Christian in exile. Then he'd come back to take his father's throne in pagan Northumbria. It's essentially the story of the Roman Emperor Constantine's conversion to Christianity at the Battle of Milvian Bridge. So maybe there was a cross in the sky. Or maybe it was a story written to secure St Andrew's status later. Folks were having battles all the time. Find a convenient one where Picts and Scots fought together just before the kingdom of Alapa was formed. Do the cross in the sky thing and hey presto, Andrew's the nation's protector. Does that sound cynical? Have you heard of St. Columba? Columba was born in Ireland, came to the Hebridean island of Iona, set up a monastery there and in places beyond. He was made a saint because of this and some miracles that he did, like casting the Loch Ness monster back into the deep. He was a bit of a local hero, and he did wonders for tourism. It was the Columban monks from Iona that had come down to Northumbria to establish the Celtic church at Lindisfarne Abbey. Now, Columba had died in 597 AD, the same year that Pope Gregory sent Augustine to convert the pagan English. Then the Roman Church expanded north. 70 years later, at the Synod of Whitby, the Northumbrians gave up the Celtic dates for Easter and adopted Rome's. 40 years after that, the Pictish king agreed that he would do the same. But 10 years after this battle, when Kenneth MacAlpin brought Picts and Scots together to form Alapa, one of the things that he did was to take St. Columba's relics from Iona and bring them to the ecclesiastical centre of his newly formed kingdom, Dunkeld. Dunkeld was Scotland's religious centre, and Columba was our national saint. Something must have happened. It's maybe not surprising that the expanding Church of Rome might persuade the newly formed kingdom to adopt a better patron to look after them. I mean, Columba can banish monsters, but Andrew, he was an actual apostle. Not just an apostle, the first called by Jesus. Why don't you trade in your old Irish monk for this new shiny patron saint? You'll hold his value much better. The neighbours will be really impressed when they see an apostle parked out in front of battle. And don't talk to me about spare parts. In fact, if you sign up today, we can give you an arm bone, some finger bones, a kneecap and a tooth away with you. And I'll throw in a set of floor mats. Now, I can't offer you an apostle, but one thing you might want to snap up is a ticket for my Spring 2024 live shows. I'll be in Newlands, Crieff, Banchory, East Kilbride, Helensburgh, Oban, Campbelltown, Arbroath, Cumbernauld, Fort William and more. As always, there will be a ticket link for these and my Canadian tour shows, top right and in the description below. 50 years after Kenneth MacAlpin died, Scotland's ecclesiastical centre moved from Dunkeld to St Andrews. But the real boost was in the 11th century. This part of Northumbria was becoming part of Scotland. Malcolm Canmore had married Margaret Atheling. She was proper religious. In fact, she was going to be a nun before the whole royal marriage career change thing. She saw it as her task to impose the order and uniformity of the Roman Church in this disorganised religious backwater. One of the things that she did was to promote a pilgrimage to the relics of St Andrew on the Fife Coast, and to encourage pilgrims from here, the recently acquired Anglo-Saxon lands that had been Northumbria, to St Andrews. She set up a ferry across the Forth. It was the Queen's Ferry. And whether north, south, or the bridge that joins them, it remains that to this day. With the Celtic church and saint thus replaced by Roman ones, what would be really useful would be a story. A story that told how St Andrew had always been the patron saint right from the formation of Scotland. That story is told here. Little surprise that when Robert the Bruce needed to unify Scotland against southern enemies, St Andrew was the saint who would be Scotland's protector. And the story of Athelstan Ford would have brought inspiration. When he had his nobles seal Scotland's Declaration of Independence at Arbroath, it told of how when Scots were confirmed in their faith, it wasn't just by anyone, but by Christ's first apostle, St Andrew. By the time the story of this battle was first written down, Robert the Bruce was long dead. When it was recorded by Andrew Winton or John Forden or Walter Bauer in Scotichronicon 100 years later, the story said that the angel bearing the standard of our Lord's cross will go in front of you. But it wasn't until the reign of James V and the scholar James Buchanan that we get the story of Andrew's cross, the blue sky and the cloud formation. If you think that diminishes the idea of St Andrew in the Saltire, then don't. A nation's soul isn't manufactured in some rigid, new age ceramic, composite or titanium alloy. It's something that's moulded over centuries. Like a well-smithed sword that's shaped gradually with many dips into the furnace, the forging fire melding it over time into a tempered blade. That is Scotland. Ancient, yet ever-changing, but with one enduring banner. Now, I made this video because St Andrew's Night's approaching. I'll be honest, I'm more of a Burns Night man myself. Let me know your preference in the comments below. But throughout the world, wherever you find Scottish people, there'll be whiskey and tartan and ceilidhs and dancing, Scottish songs and good company. So how did the St Andrew's Night that we recognise come about? Well, the first modern St Andrew's Night was held on the 30th of November 1729 in Charleston, South Carolina. St Andrew's Night's American! Well, that's not strictly true. The Americans were very different in 1729. South Carolina was a British colony, not yet one of those rebellious states who's united against their rightful king. Okay, the Hanoverian usurper, but you know what I mean. Scottish immigrants and descendants of earlier Scots migrants came together for a St Andrew's Night celebration, and they used the profits of the event to set up a charitable organisation of high-class philanthropists to raise funds to help out orphans, widows and others in the Charleston area. And then this extended north with the St Andrew Society of the State of New York in 1756, the oldest charity registered in New York. It was to relieve the poor and distressed of that town. Because that's the kind of generosity the Scots are famed for. Back in Charleston, the St Andrew Society membership wasn't restricted to Scots, and it grew to include local merchants, politicians, lawyers, doctors and planters. The society grew and continued to help the poor through membership fees, gifts and bequests. It was incorporated in 1798 and 6 years later opened a school to educate the poor. That's always been a Scottish trait. The society built a hall in 1815, and that hall was the meeting place for the South Carolina Secession Convention. On December the 20th, 1860, in that hall was passed the first ordinance of secession from the Union that sparked the American Civil War. And the oldest flag in the world would be incorporated in their Confederate flag. If you think that's controversial, there's a more controversial flag still. You see, for some reason, the sky blue of the Saltire got darker and darker. Why did the colour change? Apparently, in the post-Union world, the light blue of the Saltire faded too quickly in Union Jacks as they flew in sea breezes. So to make the colour of Union Jacks more durable, the blue of the Saltire was darkened to navy blue. Until 2003, when a new Scottish Parliament, a ruling was made on the official blue of the Saltire. It's the blue that King Angus and his men would have seen as they looked up at the sky here on that fateful day in 832. So wherever you are in the world today, and whatever history, myth or legend gives you hope for battle ahead, for us Scots, this is the home of the Saltire. You should come. If you want to know more about the peoples who made Scotland, then there's a playlist coming up on screen now. Support the channel by clicking top right to become a Patreon member, or buy me a coffee in the description below. Ha mi an dóchas gún bí lam alive. Shéri and Rasta.